Welcome, everybody. We are doing another. Oh, echo.
Echo Niner, Charlie Deuce.
Yeah, well, that's the speaker in the studio. Caused a little bit of an echo there, but it's taken care of now.
I'm sure they never heard
I didn't hear a thing.
You didn't hear anything?
Nope.
You probably, because you got your plugs in both ears, so you don't know what's going on. You
What?
probably didn't hear the music.
What?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, anyway, we had our final, not penultimate. I'm sorry, Phil. I have to tell you, it's not penultimate. We actually had the final Supercross this weekend.
It was.
We did, and we had interesting races in MotoGP and Moto2.
And it was
It was an interesting racing weekend.
It was an interesting racing weekend.
And it was even more interesting in the pool.
And it was very, very interesting in the pool. So
yeah, my guys did not do so well.
We will talk about that.
No, we'll talk about that. That'll be in the, I guess...
second hour?
Yeah, but we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know how long. It's going to be later.
It'll be later. Yeah,
later. So definitely stick around for that.
Before we get too far into the show.
Yeah.
We're going to stop live streaming on the end of this month. So the last May show, the last Tuesday of the month is the last time we live stream. Right. So anybody who's listening on the apps that are listening live or on the website listening live, you're being warned now. We'll remind you a couple more times this show and all the way up to. But we're going to get off it, and we're going to force you to either download the podcast or to watch on YouTube.
Right.
And that's the bottom line. And if you don't like it...
All about saving some money.
And if you don't like it, you can make a $2,000 an episode donation to patreon.com for us.
Yeah.
And NTN. And other than that, I don't want to hear about it. Right. I just don't.
Well,
I've had a bad weekend.
You could actually...
Somebody cut all my hot dogs in half.
You could actually make a $10 per episode donation to Patreon, and I will continue to do a show, even if it means by myself, if they do that, because unfortunately we're not.
I've been doing this show every 12 minutes.
People aren't doing that because they probably don't know. They need to go to www.patreon, that's patreon.com/NTN, and they can support the DawgHouse directly there. But if you don't do that, at least be going over to YouTube. That is youtube.com/user/NTN America, one word. Go over there. You can see all our videos, and that includes the show. Sometimes we do separate racing segments. Sometimes it's integrated, but you can get all our power rankings from MotoGP, World Superbike, and Supercross.
And
we have a few rides that are posted up on there.
We got
from
some
users,
other stuff.
from
I'm
listeners.
even going to post up this week. I don't know if any of you people know this. Well, I know you guys do because we were just talking about it. But the listeners, they're doing a World War II plane flyover of Washington, D.C.
Are they going to land on the White House lawn?
No, but hopefully they're going to no. So they're doing a flyover, and I'm trying to work. I'm going to definitely have video of it. I'm actually trying to work out so I can get on the roof of the Watergate building. I might have a connection there.
Right.
You take your little burglar bag with you?
I'm going to take my little burglar bag there.
High-powered rifle?
By connection, I mean I'm a pretty good lockpicker.
Are you going to pretend like you're in the Texas Water Tower?
No, I bought a set of coveralls. I put on somebody's roofing company. I won't say the name, that way in case somebody that works there knows it. And I got a hat. I got some work boots.
This is all allegedly. You're going to
No, this is the truth. And I'm gonna walk up there like daggone here to fix a leak on the roof. You know, and the guy's going to be like, you're here to what the what? And I'm like,
you're probably going to be in the scope of a high-powered rifle somewhere. They see someone sitting on a roof.
Yeah, I'm just going to have the video camera going, probably smoke a stogie. No, I don't know about that, but I'm going to have the video camera going. I'll definitely have some, what we refer to as engine juice, and I won't say their name.
Right.
Because them people don't advertise either. But I'll have some of that with me, and, but I will put that video up on YouTube.
Okay.
Or YouTube, as you guys
on NTN America, our YouTube page.
Right. On our YouTube page.
So if you guys,
it'd be a cool flyover.
Right.
I know a lot of guys on Facebook were saying, "Hey, are you going to go to that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "You can post it up on your Facebook." I was like, "I'm going to put it on my YouTube page because I like you guys, but I want to make my eighth of a penny of you."
Well, Ken and I talked about that. It's probably more like 1/14th of a hundredth of a penny.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
And we will work for that.
Yeah.
We currently are. What are you talking about?
I don't think there is a number low enough that we would turn it down. Right?
That's actually true.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to go in and rob your daughter's and your son's little piggy bank and put it in an envelope.
We're not above that.
Put it in an envelope.
All right, but whatever. Who cares? Let's move on.
Well, let me just say, it doesn't cost you a penny to watch our YouTube video.
It doesn't.
The money comes from advertisers. You know those little stupid advertisements you see in the beginning of YouTube videos? It's a chance for us to get a piece of stupid money.
Yeah, we want stupid money.
Right, because smart money is not on us.
Yeah, we've never
That
been able
doesn't
to
sound
do that.
right. It just doesn't sound
It
right.
just doesn't work for us.
Right.
So,
Well,
but yes, the streaming ends the end of this show. I
Right.
will have
End of
YouTube.
this,
So the
end of this month.
flyover.
End of the month.
End of the month. I'm sorry. End of the
So
month.
you guys can, go to YouTube on your commutes and listen to us on your commute by YouTube.
And
Get
go,
us a little cash that way.
yeah, and go, and check out. Like I said, hopefully by Saturday or Sunday, my internet connection at my new house is not hooked up yet, so I'm gonna have to find like a
Send it
supermarket.
Pony Express to Ken.
I'll probably just drop a thumb drive off at Ken's.
Yeah.
And then we'll put it up there so you can check out that flyover because it's apparently historic. It's going to be a whole bunch of World War II
And when
planes.
is this? When is the flyover?
It's going to be Friday
Okay.
at noontime.
Okay.
So, I'm kind of hoping to bank on the low of security because guys are going to lunch and, all that good stuff. But that's what we do for our listeners.
Well-
but I know, listen, they're going to have a whole bunch of, they're going to have B-52s and
Can you do me a
B2s
favor?
and-
Can you do
yeah.
me a favor? If there are any unplanned for events, can you videotape that as well?
I'm going to have a spare person there who's
Okay,
going to
good.
be in the shadows videotaping me
Perfect.
getting arrested,
Just as long
thrown
as,
off the
just as
building.
long as he's not on the grassy knoll.
Yeah, no. I told him
How
no.
come you don't bring your spare person to the studio ever?
Because then there's a chance now that we're on cameras, people would see him, and now that he's not
Okay.
inconspicuous.
Okay, I got you.
At 400 pounds, I don't think he's all that inconspicuous. Anyways,
Okay.
but 390, all right.
390 before lunch.
Yes, legitimately. But yeah, I just want to tell people because I think that's going to be really cool. I know it's not bike related, but it should be really cool. I know a lot of veterans listen to this show and stuff.
And I do want to say that we're going to do, after this show tonight, we're going to be doing our MotoGP power rankings after the disaster of this week.
And yes, and our final
Supercross ranking.
Supercross.
Power rankings. So make sure you check out those videos. And please, we ask you share.
Share. That's fair.
Our videos. We like the likes. We love
right.
the shares. How's that? We like the likes. We love the shares. Trademark right now.
Oh yeah,
We
verbal copyright.
Verbal
Just
copyright.
steal something
That's
off
right.
of another show.
That's
Verbal
right.
copyright.
That's right.
Screw them
That's
people.
right. Because Steelers' lives matter.
That's right.
Okay. So anyway,
Hashtag criminal lives matter.
that's right. Hashtag criminal lives matter. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and take a break, and we come back.
Already?
We are.
Why?
So we
That's
co-
early.
And we come back. Well, it's what is it? A minute and a quarter? A minute and an eighth early? I mean, of a
we
minute.
could stall.
We could stall.
Can't now.
Too late.
Music is playing.
You
Damn it.
started. We're going to go ahead and take a break because we're going to get into the news quicker. Warren's going to kick things off on the
Before
other
we got
side.
into the news, I was going to complain about half hot dogs. But I guess now we'll save that
We should-
maybe
we
for the
should do a-
video. That should be a rant on the video.
A rant on a video. Okay, we'll be back on the other side, and Warren will take us out to the news. And then I got some interesting news this week, too. So you want to stick around, and don't forget, we're going to do racing after the news, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Elena Myers, and you're listening to the DawgHouse.
All right, folks, welcome back to the DawgHouse, where men are men and
Ken twerks.
Ken twerks.
You know, hey, listen, that's the whole reason this week you have to go and watch the video on YouTube, because during that first commercial segment, or that first break, Ken was actually twerking on camera.
Yeah, some of our viewers said that you know when you go on your commercial breaks, you just kind of sit there and you guys chat amongst yourself, and it's kind of boring to watch.
You know, there's some guy who rides like a pink-colored Harley going, "I tap that ass." You know? Ken's going to be all like, "Woo!" Ken's going to get love letters and stuff like that. But he actually twerked.
And if you'd like to do that, you got to go to patreon.com/twerk.
So you go watch the video this week. You'll see Ken twerking, and
I did twerk.
if we get emails from @SanQuentin.org, we'll know that
shout out from Cell Block C. Yeah, hey, listen, if you want to send in a video shout out from Cell Block C or any other prison place, we will totally play that.
You guys don't want to know what I would do for the right amount of money.
No, I think
we've talked about that before.
I haven't got any decent offers, I will say that.
Okay, well, on that note,
on that note, we
we'll
should
go
switch.
somewhere in a different direction. All right, guys. Have you guys ever owned a kickstart bike?
I have.
Yes.
And
I've owned several of them, actually.
And sometimes they can get pretty hard to kick, and sometimes they'll bust your knees, and
other times you just start kicking them.
If you're not,
and sometimes you just kick them.
if you're not careful, yeah, they can be. Well, they teach you a lesson pretty quickly when you let your foot slide off the kick, and they'll teach you a lesson pretty good. You tear up your shins.
The kicker kicks back.
That's called an attention getter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a new or it's not a new company. This company's been around for a little while, and it's Estevez.
So it's Tito Rabat's company.
Tito Rabat. What did Tito Rabat do besides come in 40?
Motorcycles Design has put together an electric kickstart.
So it only works 1 out of every 7 times.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why would you create an electric kickstart? Why wouldn't you just have an electric start?
Because why don't Estevez win races? Who knows?
Well, that's a good question, but then
it's an obvious question.
And at first, I started thinking, well, why not just press the button that's already on the machine?
Yeah,
to start
because
the bike?
He's rich and has new Harleys.
I'm gonna assume that they're targeting this at bikes that don't have an electric start,
and you would be wrong.
It's just new bikes to make it look like. See, this is total tool. This is total tool. This is like the guy who rides his Harley to bike night once a month and claims he's the big biker. This is, look at me, look at my cool bike. I have an electric Kickstarter. Yet, it's not. I mean, look at me. I have a kickstart bike, but it's really like I hit that and it kickstarts it, and it starts every time. And you're trying to act cool.
The kickstart is the starting button.
Well, right off the bat, it'd be.
I want to punch the people who get that.
If it was a kickstart Harley, it would be an antique. That's right off the bat. Yeah. Okay, there hasn't been a kickstart Harley in 30 years.
Well, they designed this product for 1999 through current year sporties. So if you have a Sportster and you want to replace
not Harley,
the
but okay.
and you want to replace the your starter button with a Kickstarter, you can now do that with this new.
Wait a minute. If you want to replace your starter button with a Kickstarter,
this is gonna be like, look, I put a Kickstarter on my Sportster
exactly
so I can be cool.
So this is
our tool.
So this is to put a Kickstarter on a bike that doesn't have one.
Unless of course this company unless of course
why is okay? Wait a minute. Okay, I got to
advertise on the DawgHouse. Then you're the coolest guy ever.
Too much talking at the same time. Okay, I'm having enough trouble following it as it is.
I know. You're
okay, wait a minute now. So
Phil got it right off.
Phil got off?
But I didn't.
No,
Phil got right off. Is that what you're saying? Phil got right off.
Oh, Diana Dahlgren, Supercross, somebody got it.
So you're taking an electric start bike and you're putting a Kickstarter on it.
Yes, that's an electric Kickstarter, not a real Kickstarter.
No, wait. Let me explain it in terms so you can understand.
Go ahead.
Okay. You're taking a bike that has a button right here.
Right.
Right here. See, right here.
Yep.
Your start button. Right? Yep. You're taking that button.
All right.
And you're moving that button to down here, and you're switching the what would that be?
The starter circuit.
Yeah, the circuit, but you're probably putting in some kind of.
So the kick thing doesn't actually do anything at all. It's
yes,
decorative.
it does. It actuates. It's the
It
same.
actuates
when
the
you
circuit
when
to
you
start
kick
the
the
bike.
start, it's the same as pressing
So
the
it's
button.
basically the kick
When you-
lever.
when you reach
the
the
kick lever is nothing more than a start button.
Correct.
Wow, that's like a new level of lame. I'm very impressed by that.
That unless of course they want to advertise on the DawgHouse,
Yes.
then that's the coolest S ever. I would be like, oh my god, that's awesome, but
Yeah,
that's so
actually
lame.
that's a good point, Phil.
Yeah, I mean,
It could be cool, but
listen,
it will cost you.
if you're Esteve and
we're
you're
not,
running
we're
around
not
like a little,
beyond the selling out. So
yeah, I'm totally not
Yeah.
about selling out.
Right. If you would like your electric kickstart to become cool, well,
Send a check or money order.
A check, yeah.
now, at first, when I first saw it, and then there's pictures of it up on our post, so you can see the outside of it, which looks like an old school kicker with this big spring on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you flip it over, and you see the backside. It's just a couple wires that run out to when you push the thing all the way down to the bottom. You actuate the circuit for the starter.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
No, it's either cool, or the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I haven't decided yet. It will depend on the advertising revenue.
Exactly.
And at first, I looked at it and I said, "Oh my god!" But then I started thinking about things you could use it for. Other than
Wait a minute. Other than starting your bike, is what you're talking about?
no, starting the bike. So if you
I'd
had-
like one of those on my vacuum cleaner. Rather than press that button.
Okay, well,
That'd be kind of cool.
right, all right, you just took some of my start. I was gonna say you could put it on your lawnmower.
Yeah.
You can put it on your tractor. You can put it on a lot of different things.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
I totally would
simple
put it on a
things.
tractor. I'm not
TVs.
redneck.
Right.
Yeah.
A kickstart remote control. That's
So
great.
you can do
Yeah.
all that.
It's
I
great.
would
You know what?
totally-
It works on everything but a motorcycle.
I would totally do an electric Kickstarter on an electric golf cart
There you go.
because I'm that jerk.
Yeah.
I
That
think
would
I
work
Cool.
as well. Now, and I also start thinking about, okay, well, I can see it. It could be add a little cool to it. It could be a little different. Be something different no one else is going to have if you have a sporty to
Well,
do that
yeah, I
kind
was
of
gonna say
stuff.
number one, you're riding a sporty, so you're already past the cool part. But anyway, okay.
But then I thought, okay, well, if you're doing some kind of retro look, like I'm kind of doing with my World War II bike,
Uh-huh.
and it's a soft tail, it's a modern bike. There's no way you can put a kickstarter on it. Why
Right.
would you want to anyway?
Right.
But this would give you another little option for a bling on
More
it.
chrome.
More chrome.
Just say it. This will give you more chrome.
But-
That right there. Listen, I just screwed up because they would have paid big dollars for that because that's the advertising thing. You look like a tool, but you got more chrome. That would be the ad we'd run, and people would buy
There you
it.
go. Yeah. So you're thinking now you've decided that it might actually be kind of cool.
I'm on the fence.
He's thinking
with it.
about getting one.
I'm on the fence. Well, they
think
don't
so.
make it for the soft tail, so I couldn't get it even if I wanted to.
I'm not sure.
well,
why
let me think about this. Since it doesn't actually do anything, it's just a button.
all we'd have to do is make you a custom bracket.
Why in God's name are they doing it for the Sportster? Is it because it's on the wrong side of the bike?
What?
Because it's on the wrong side of
It's
the
on
bike?
the wrong side. If you look at the photos on our post,
Right.
you'll see that they've designed it to fit over a part of the bike that is easily mountable.
Right.
And you don't really have that with the sport or with the soft tails.
No, you
or
don't.
anything.
You don't.
So
It's because everything's on the proper side on a big twin, whereas everything's backwards on a
so
Sportster.
if you take a look at the pictures, you'll see that it's designed for easy mounting. And somebody just probably woke up one morning and said, "I want to put a kickstart on my Sporty, but I don't want to really kick it as hard as I have to get it started."
Well,
No, I want it to work.
you can kick,
And I want it to work.
You
That's the good
can
thing.
kickstart an 883. I don't think you're gonna be happy trying to kickstart
The 12,
the
yeah.
1200. Yeah.
unless
it can
unless
be
you
done.
got Popeye
It can be
legs.
done, but you're gonna need to bring a really fat friend. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only way. You're gonna need someone over 300 pounds.
Which I am available for
For rent, that's right.
$23 a week.
Phil can be rented to start your bike.
I can be rented.
So
Wow.
okay, well,
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah, I was the same
way.
I know.
It's
I
like
know
total
exactly how
cool.
I feel about it, but it's completely tied to revenue.
But see, well, yeah, right. But I would do something cool with it. Like I wouldn't hook my starter to it because then people would know you were a tool. I would hook like my light to it.
my
you know,
horn.
So, that,
So every time you
my
jump
horn,
on it,
right?
your horn beep.
Beep. You know, just I
What's
would.
he doing? Beep,
My
beep.
radio. I don't know.
See, now,
radio.
that's one of the things
Kicks-
I did think about. If I knew somebody that had one of those and put it on there, I would have to go and rewire it to set every time they kick it that the horn would go off.
Yeah.
Or something crazy would happen.
Or put a little speaker on that says "I'm a tool."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, little MP3 player that plays an MP3. It says you're an idiot.
Or go boom, 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 boom.
By the way, does it say how much this costs?
It's about $500.
Oh my God!
Oh, that's a lot of chrome.
$500 for a momentary switch with a lever, basically.
With a lever,
Yeah.
and a big spring.
Wow! Hey,
and a big
Esteve,
spring.
God bless you.
Hey,
You should advertise with it.
They do
thumbs
make a
up. The
lot of
good
other
thing
products.
is there's a lot of stupid Sportster owners out there.
Here's the bad thing is, how bitter are we going to be when this idiot makes money?
I'm not going to be bitter because, like I just said, he was smart enough to take advantage of people that aren't so smart. That's what That's what capitalism's all about.
It is.
You know?
God bless America, right there.
Yeah, that's right.
That
Well,
is America.
Esteve sounds like Esteve Motors sounds
Or it
like
could be E. Stevie. I haven't decided if it's E.
yeah,
Stevie
or it could be
Esteve.
like in either case, I think it's not. That's not an American
But they do
name.
make other products, and some of this stuff looks.
Oh my God, I'm
is
looking
good
at
as well.
it. I just
So you
found
just
it.
saw it for the first time?
Yeah. Oh. And it's no longer. You got to write a big check for me.
This
to
is
say
an
that's
example where we should be putting a picture of it up in the video.
Cool. Well, it was hard to
Right
find
now,
a
our
picture.
producer could put the picture up in the
All
But
video.
he
you do
doesn't
is
love
to-
you.
No, because we didn't help a producer out.
Yeah, and we don't love him. That's what it is.
No, but that's an example.
Yeah,
so
we'll
just so
work
you know,
on that for the
I
future.
apologize for our stupidity.
I thank you.
You're welcome, Phil.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Since you're talking about the picture in the middle of the show that no one can see.
Well, I think I described it pretty well.
He did. He actually
It
described
looks
it really
like
well.
it looks like a Kickstarter.
It looks like a Kickstarter with the big spring and two
it
wires
got the
on
little
the other
chrome
side.
bar holding it up, and that's all. Hardly guy sees chrome. He's like, yeah, America.
Well, and as we discussed last week, Chrome can get you home.
Chrome actually can get you home. We
Can
learned
get
last
you
week.
home if it's has something to do with your hydraulic fluid reservoirs, right?
Wow.
Yep. Okay.
God bless this guy.
All right.
All right. Well, I think we beat that one to death. So
I think so. I think we gave
I
it more
could
time
probably
than it
go on,
actually deserved.
but we shouldn't have done that after talking about Ken twerking because nothing tops Ken twerking.
No.
well,
Unless
Ken
except the chrome.
twerking-
I'm going to get my butt chromed just so I can I can twerk.
You want to show us your shiny metal ass?
Yeah, there you go. It had never been so smooth.
Can they chrome hair?
I'll shave. Okay, so
Oh, bada bing.
Warren, anything else before we head out to break?
Oh yeah, we got one more.
Okay.
It's kind of short.
All right.
I guess everybody in the modern world has heard that in Iceland that every year they build a hotel out of ice,
Yes,
Yes.
I want to go there.
Yes.
and you sleep on beds of ice.
I don't want to do that.
Your sheets are made out of bear skin and that kind of stuff. But,
I like that.
but everything
And then
is made of ice.
and then everything so you lay on these ice cubes, they cover it with a bear skin, and then the ice under your butt melts.
Right. That's what I'm wearing. I sleep hot. I'm fat.
Yeah.
I'm like, when I lay under
You
a
wake up
blanket.
in the morning, you'll be down. Ah!
Right. I'll probably drown.
Yeah.
Like, when I sleep, I generate a lot of heat. It's like the center of the sun under the blankets with me, you know? And I'm like,
Well,
I'm going to melt into
I'll
the
take
ice.
your word for that. I do not ever want to experience it.
You know you do.
No.
But I'm like, oh my God, I'd melt through the floor and I'd end up in like the ocean
Yeah.
or something. That's what I'm
Well,
worried about.
4 years ago, this hotel is part of the, just like all hotels, they have the big atriums where they come in and they got all these fancy
I
things.
say how Holiday and Raras.
They're all day in.
Holiday and Raras.
So they took a 2002 Victory motorcycle
I froze it.
and froze it in a block of ice as one of their displays. And it was in there for 4 years because this, they got
Isn't that cold there?
It's that cold there, because they keep the ice, on
Maybe I
these
don't
type
wanna
things,
go
they
there.
refrigerate it and everything. But
Wait a minute. It stayed frozen
for 4 years,
The hotels stay frozen through
well,
the
no,
summer?
not the whole hotel. Some of their displays and stuff.
Okay.
So they took the frozen motorcycle and put it in a cooler.
Okay,
until
they put it in the
next year and
freezer,
brought it
right.
back
They
out.
stuck it in the freezer, okay.
Right. So the hotel's redone every year, but
Okay, you're right, right.
there's
That's
some
what I
things they
thought.
move, they keep bringing back.
Okay.
So this time they brought they decided they no longer wanted the motorcycle in a block of ice, so they defrosted it, and 1 hour after they defrosted it, put new oil in it, changed out everything but the spark plugs that get changed, started right up. So a Victory motorcycle, 2002 Victory motorcycle was frozen for 4 years, defrosted, and 1 hour later it was running.
Okay, so
That's pretty
well,
impressive.
let's talk about the defrost. I want to understand the defrost. Do they chip the ice off? Because I'm thinking if you defrost, water's going to get in places that are going to make that instant startup not happen.
Well, I'm sure that most of it was chipped off. That's the way I would have done
And
it.
you know the other thing that happens too when you freeze ice? It expands. And things break.
Well, they have experience with
So
this.
I'm going to say they didn't thaw it out. That's a lie. That they
Ooh.
broke ice off in big pieces. Most of the ice came off and then they probably use like a high pressure, air
They
blower.
might have wrapped the
because-
thing in plastic and stuff like that.
Oh, inside the ice.
Yeah.
Then it wouldn't look nearly as cool.
No, there's a picture of it on this month's or this week's
I would
post.
like
It'll
to
be up
see-
there so you can see it.
Again.
Durka
Durka dropped the ball.
Damn, Durka.
That would have been a good picture also to
I
put
just
up.
love doing that because he's
Imagine-
off the. There we go.
Imagine you're looking at a picture of a motorcycle in a block of ice.
Yes, pretend.
And when this week's post goes up, you will be able to see that
In the post.
but
on the video. So,
and I'll put it on Facebook and Twitter and everything else just so you guys can
All
see
right.
it as well. So, but I thought that was pretty cool.
maybe, I don't know. I don't want to make any promises. No, I won't. I've got nothing to say. No more twerking.
No
Sorry.
more twerking.
No more
No.
twerking.
I
you
will
might do at
say.
least one
I
more
will
time.
say. Allegedly,
Allegedly.
I know you can put stuff at the bottom of a mine, flood the mine, and keep it there. If you wrap it in plastic and you seal everything up and stuff. But freezing it, I gotta agree with you. When you start freezing things, because you put it in water and then you're freezing it, things will go to break. I'm not sure I'd want that bike,
Right.
or want to ride that bike, or even want to be near that bike when it started.
Well, yeah, but it's not only that. Like I said, it's the defrost part. There's no way you could just defrost that much water that's clearly would have gotten in everywhere, and you thaw that out. Some of that water is going to
you
get
gotta figure they probably plugged up the exhaust and they probably
I'm sure they
put
didn't.
some kind of seal on the gas tank.
Right.
And,
They
big
just
deal.
didn't drop it into a
It's
vat
not.
of
It's not.
water
It's
and
not.
then
It's
freeze
not
it.
the gas tank that's going to be a problem. It's going to be things that have to do with the electrical system.
But that and and the rubber hoses, and,
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably chipped off the majority of it, and then the rest of it was blown off with a high pressure heated air system of some sort, so that the stuff couldn't sit.
Yeah.
It wouldn't just melt and sit in place.
Sorry,
Right.
was that out loud?
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh,
It's on video.
You gotta keep it inside.
Inside voice. Inside voice.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, that finishes up this news segment.
Well, it's great. It was good for our imagination because I could actually imagine what a bike looked like inside of an ice cube. I could.
What color was it?
I
It was
imagine lots of stuff.
Turquoise and cream color.
What was the first color?
Turquoise. He said.
Turquoise.
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 That would be a cool color for a car. Turquoise. I like
right.
that. All right.
All right, we'll be back on the other side of this break, and I got a couple news stories that we're going to talk about, so you don't want to miss those. And then following that, we're going to get into this week's racing, and there was a lot going on this weekend. So come on back. We'll be here waiting for you, and maybe twerking during the break. Who knows? Don't go anywhere.
This is Ace EJ from Adrenaline Crew. You're listening to the DawgHouse.
That's a good tune.
Work it, Ken. Work it.
I
Work
like
it, Ken.
that tune.
I kind of want to like dye a red streak in my hair and wear like leather parachute pants
wait a
or
minute.
something
What, hair?
with my beard.
Okay,
Yeah. I want to grow a mullet now.
Yeah, right. I think you'd look good with a red streak in your hair. I think you'd look good with hair. But we
No,
have to see
I
it.
don't.
No? Oh, we
No.
want to see it.
No,
I've been waiting.
I'll tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
If
This
here we
is
go,
gonna be good.
fundraiser.
We're screwed.
Fundraiser.
Right.
If people send us
Make it reasonable.
PayPal,
Okay.
right? There's I don't know how many tens of thousands of you listeners, so it's probably $1 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Send us $1,000 to our PayPal. You can do it at $1 a piece. If we hit $1,000, I will grow my hair for a year.
Really? You'll go a whole year
I'll go a whole year for $1,000
for $1,000.
to the DawgHouse. I mean, I will trim it and stuff. I'm not gonna go like
No,
full.
no. If
You
it's
want me
for
to go
a year,
full-
it's full year.
For a year,
Yeah, let it go for a year.
uncut for a year.
Yeah, go
I
I
uncut
can
for a
shave
year.
though, right?
Yes.
I can't do a beard that long.
Yeah, that's fine.
I will grow my hair for a year
For 1 year, tell the
for
camera.
$1,000. You gotta send it into Patreon. I'm not Patreon. Our PayPal. What's our PayPal?
DawgHouse Radio at DawgHouse at ntnradio.com.
Right. You send it in. If you guys can all raise $1,000, and we'll put to the end of May, right?
Well, I can already, knowing our listeners, I can already tell you what they're thinking right now. Well, what if I put up a bike? I put up a buck and only 999 other people do.
Well, then
Or
you got
998
to
other
check
people.
back at the end of the month and finish it off and do $1 or something.
Right, you gotta
Listen,
fill the
it's
hole
not
in.
much.
It's
It's
not.
$1,000.
Right.
And I'll grow my hair out for a
Well,
year.
How about we say this?
First of all, I want to know, why don't you grow your hair out now?
You will find out in a
Yes,
year.
we'll find out.
Because you can see the stubble. You have full head of hair. At least it looks like it.
I will tell you
Mostly.
off the air. I'm not saying it on the air because then nobody will donate.
All I can say is think of Shirley Temple doing the Good Ship Lollipop.
Oh,
And
my
that's
God.
what Phil will look like. Right? Am I right?
No, it's worse.
It's even worse than
Worse
that.
than Shirley Temple
worse.
hair?
Okay, wait a minute. It's Superfly.
It's worse.
Jerry curl?
Phil,
Hold on, we moved the camera.
Phil, worse than Superfly?
Superfly.
Jerry curl?
Show enough.
Show enough.
Show enough.
Okay. All right. This is
I'm the Shogun of Harlem.
this is worth it. Let's put it this way.
Jerry curl.
I'll put up.
No, nobody from the show can put money towards it.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Because
If
Ken
they
will
get-
put up, because $1,000 will put it in their PayPal thing, and he'll just launder the money around. I know Ken's game. That's not happening, people. I'm not letting Ken screw me.
Well, if it gets close,
No!
I will put it over the top.
No, you will not. Nobody
You'll ne-
from the show.
You'll never know.
Yes, I will figure it out because I don't think
All
you
right,
guys will
folks.
be able to keep that.
Please. I've been waiting to see
I can't
this
believe
for
I did
6
that for so
years.
cheap.
He's been bald for 6 years.
I've been
Yes.
bald for 22 years.
So he doesn't even know what'll grow out at this point. Right? So. All right. Well, let's get back to the news. Please, people, please.
Okay.
Do you
Help-
guys have
help
any?
us out here.
If you have any idea where Ondo is?
Ando?
Ondo.
Japan?
Polo.
Ondo. No,
Japan?
it's not Japan.
I would say Ando definitely sounds South American to me.
No. It's
That's what it sounds like to me. How do you know what it sounds like to me? Who do you think you are? Tell me what it sounds
Actually,
like.
Ondo is a state in the nation of Nigeria. Our good friends in Nigeria.
Oh, yes. You know, I have a rich uncle that recently died
That's
there.
right, yes.
And if
He's
I
got
send them
$50 million.
$1,500,
He'll send you
they're
$50
going to
million.
send me my cut of $20 million.
Right. I was offered $50 million. I'm sorry you got short.
Yeah, but obviously your uncle made more money than mine.
His,
10 million
uncle's
more and you
king,
probably would've
your
grown your
uncle
hair
is
out.
Prince.
They also my friend in Nigeria told me she has a way to buy art really cheap. And if I send her $1,500, she'll buy the art, sell it, and then send me back $2,500.
Sounds like a deal. How could you pass it up?
You know.
Well, like I said, Ondo is a state in the nation of Nigeria. And if Nigeria didn't have enough problems with Ebola and severe poverty, they now have a mysterious new disease. At least that's what the state government has said this past weekend.
Okay.
Philitis.
Their press release said the strange disease that has officially claimed the lives of 18 persons
Lakanuki.
in 2 communities, Lakanuki. I don't think they have that problem in Nigeria. Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right.
In 2 communities, it's not contagious, the disease, unless, of course, you pilot a motorcycle for a living.
Oh, this is getting kind of weird.
Wait, Nigeria is one of those countries with like the motorcycle taxi guys, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, lots of African and South Asia countries do that. Yeah.
So if you ride a motorcycle for a living, you can catch this disease.
Yes.
And is it fatal?
Well, 18 people have died. That's pretty fatal. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know
18
of how
of them,
many.
anyway.
I don't know of how many cases there were total. The state commissioner for health, and I tell you what, this is where I could tell you that God has failed me once again. Okay, because
because you guys killed his son.
Might be.
He probably did not take that too well. He's probably like, damn it, I gave you Israel. Why did you have to kill my son?
And they gave us camera shops in New York. Come on.
Yeah, that's
right,
true.
Right.
God bless the Hasidic Jews in New York
Right.
and everything they sell.
So if to make it fair, if in a perfect world, I would not be doing this story this week. Phil would be doing this story because the name I'm about to read, I can tell you for a fact, Phil would completely turn upside down. There's no way. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to pronounce the name. Okay. Or maybe I should just spell it and let Phil pronounce it.
Why don't you? Can you show it to me?
Flip your tablet around and
Yes,
see it.
I can do that right there. Okay. It's a doctor. Starts with Dr. Phil.
I got the first part. That's Deo.
That's an easy one.
Deo.
Right, do the last name.
Edianju?
That's actually not bad, Phil.
Yeah.
Wow.
I treated it like it was a
bad.
Polish name.
That's not
Because
bad.
Polish names, you just look at them and you just kind of pronounce all the letters.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh,
So we're in trouble
shut
now.
10 up,
That's impressive.
We're in trouble now.
Yeah.
That's like the 7th sign, I think, when Phil pronounces a name right.
Yeah, right. I offered to grow my hair back all in one episode.
Warren, can
Ken
you
Twerk?
look out the window to see if...
No, don't look out the window.
Because
Don't touch the green screen.
Yeah.
We're just black screen on the video.
Well, anyways, Dr. Adenaju, okay,
Deo.
made the clarification. He said in a news conference that a preliminary report showed that ethanol poison was found in the systems of the victims.
I want a copy of this in my email, and I'm going to start putting it out there because everybody here in America wants us to burn this ethanol gas, and I'm against it.
Well, there you go. Now, before you start pointing out...
Corn should be eaten,
Now,
not driven
Phil,
or
because
drank.
Phil jumps ahead.
I did.
Before you start pointing at things like E85 or some other formulation of petroleum and alcohol, you got to be patient, Phil. Patient.
Not good at that.
Yeah, I would say he's not very good at that.
Calm down. Be patient. Adenaju said findings from the postmortems carried out on the victims and other laboratory tests revealed that the disease was neither epidemic nor contagious. Quote, our investigations have also revealed that the victims, who, interestingly, were all commercial motorcycle pilots, gathered at some local joints to consume alcoholic substances mixed with roots and some other local herbs on the eve of the outbreak of the disease. I can assure you the disease is in no way contagious. The fact that none of the caregivers has contracted the disease has greatly underscored the point. Therefore, the fear of spread does not arise and should be discouraged. We strongly suspect ethanol poison, and in view of this, we have ordered additional toxicology tests on surviving victims. So some people did survive, so it wasn't 100%.
They're drinking the gas?
They're drinking the ethanol
Or it's
with herbs and roots mixed in with it.
bad
and
hooch.
That's hardcore moonshine right there.
That's right.
That's hardcore.
The commissioner, who said there has been no reports of new cases in the last 3 days, explained that 23 people were infected in
They
all,
drank it all.
out of which 18 lost their lives while 5 survived. So out of 23, 18 died. That's bad. And all the ones that live, Phil,
Yeah.
are blind.
Whoa.
Okay?
This is definitely some bad
See,
hooch.
I don't want my car going blind or my bike going blind or anything like that. That's why I'm against E85.
There you go. And those that survived have been sent to a university teaching hospital for further testing and monitoring.
So wait a second.
It's like, wait a minute, they're blind, so I'm not sure what additional testing is. Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that?
Hey, can you see that?
How many fingers am I holding up?
Hey, read between the lines. So here's my question: is when are we leaving for Nigeria? I mean, Warren is from West Virginia, so obviously
there's no relationship.
Time out. Obviously, Warren knows how to make hooch.
Apparently,
It's in his DNA.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
I definitely know where to get some.
No,
there you go.
Warren, you don't have to lie. We can do the allegedly whatever. So we should go over there and start a business in Nigeria teaching them how to make safe moonshine, or at least non-blinding moonshine.
Yes, non-blinding. Well, okay. I don't think this was hooch that somebody made. But let me finish the story.
Did they like go up to the pump and drink it? Because you got to be an alcoholic to drink out of a gas pump.
Adenaju said he would not join with traditionalists who believe that the outbreak of the disease was due to some angry gods from whose shrines some youths were said to have gone to steal.
You know, that is true. It could be a hydrangea.
There you go.
Got to be praised.
He said his job goes beyond explaining the god's actions, as he was expected to back up his claims with available evidence.
I totally agree with this guy.
I think so. However, another area of disagreement is looming on the burial of the remains of the victims. While the state government is insisting that the dead persons be buried in body bags in designated places to curtail the spread of this quote-unquote non-communicable disease, locals and the local deity believe that they should be buried in an evil forest as a means of appeasing the angry god.
So, listen.
Who poisoned them?
Watch this. Evil forest moonshine. We're genius.
That would be.
There you go.
And you put some like scary trees on the label.
Scary trees on it, graves, dead people, and a bud.
So do you not realize what they were drinking? They were drinking denatured alcohol.
Yes, I know that.
That's what they were drinking.
I know.
It wasn't like they were drinking bad homemade stuff.
We've already went past that.
Yeah, we're beyond that. We're capitalizing on it.
Okay, you're capitalizing on it.
Yeah, we're already past the Kickstarter.
I mean, the Dukes never died when they drank the same hooch they ran in the General Lit.
That's what they need. They need a Kickstarter.
The Dukes never died.
They need a Kickstarter on there still. Okay.
Oh my God, we got to start a Kickstarter campaign so we can go save the Africans.
Wow.
GoFundMe. Warren, set it up. Warren and I are going to go save Nigeria.
With an electric Kickstarter.
All right, you just let me know how you.
We'll use the electric Kickstarter to start the moonshine.
You do
stuff.
realize
that's an excellent
you do
idea.
realize they still have Ebola there, right?
I live in D.C. We have Ebola there.
Okay.
No biggie.
Okay. All right.
I'm not a nurse. Ebola is known as the nurse killer. I got to avoid sleeping with nurses.
There you go.
I can do that. Wait, did they have the money to buy hooch there?
Except for the one in New York.
She was a doctor. Allegedly. Do they have the money to buy hooch?
Nigeria, I think they
got diamonds or something.
Yeah, they got
right?
diamonds and gold.
We can
and
work
stuff.
something out. Warren,
right.
get on that.
We'll figure out something.
We'll figure out how we'll put a shipping container with a couple stills in it.
I'm sure I can find a Nigerian prince to sponsor you over there, and I'll make sure you get all your
No,
supplies.
I want to do this Kickstarter.
A Nigerian prince? What is this, Coming to America or something? Wipers!
I went to work at the McDonald's.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we'll start up a Kickstarter thing, the DawgHouse to save Nigeria.
There you go.
To save,
Protect
it would be a great
them-
thing. I mean,
protect
we'd
them
be
from bad
saving
hooch.
Nigerian bikers.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
And then we can come
We'll
back
get right on that.
and we'll do Evil Forest Moonshine. It's a hit.
That's a great name.
Listen.
I think that probably needs to be the first thing we work on.
You know, Durka, why don't you shoot an email to my brother-in-law and trademark that name before somebody steals it? But okay, go ahead.
All right, got one real quickie before we head out to a break, and it's right in the vein of third world motorcycling stories. A Pakistani motorcyclist has been arrested in the eastern city of Lahore after police caught him riding naked along a busy road, days after a video of his exploits went viral on social media. Police got word on Saturday that Shiraz Khan was riding naked.
Shaka Khan was riding naked.
Shiraz Khan
Oh, all right. I'm sorry.
was riding naked once again on Lahore's main boulevard.
Once again.
Once again.
I love
he
it.
did it. He rode naked.
So Pakistan
Posted
is
it up
like
on,
the
like-
Florida of Southeast Asia.
It's Pakistan, right? I
Well,
mean, come on.
they, in Cambodia, remember a few weeks ago, they kicked that couple out who were riding around naked on their motorcycle.
Yeah, that's
You know?
true.
That's true.
All right, let's go back to nude guy.
So anyway, he posted it up, and after he posted it up, the cops just started staking him out and waiting for him to do it. And they actually went out and blocked the road on all sides.
That's
and
a real,
waited, and just
that's a
waited
real
for him.
C block there.
Yeah, right. And they just sat there and waited for him, and then they just simply flagged him down and arrested him on Monday. And the quote was, "We arrested Shiraz on Saturday." Well, they arrested him on Saturday, not Monday, so I don't know why I said that. But anyway, they arrested him on Saturday for overspeeding,
Okay.
violating traffic rules, and for revealing his private organs in public.
His organs.
Private organs.
Is it
Private organs.
Not
is
his
it a
public
pipe,
organs.
Is it a pipe organ?
No, it's a private
Electric organ?
It could be if he had that Kickstarter. It could be, you know. So,
Wow.
but the best part of all,
Oh, there's a good part.
I just, all of it's good to me, but I just did this story,
Yeah,
and
anytime we talk about naked
I'm
men,
giving
you
you.
like
Ken, look how happy Ken is to talk about. He couldn't wait to get off Evil Forest Moonshine so he
think
could
he's
talk
a
about a
naked
naked
man.
guy.
That's true.
Go ahead.
And I've been giving you all these quotes, right? Overspeeding, violating traffic rules, and so on, revealing his private organs in public. And who do you think the police officer who is the representative that came out and told the press all about this?
This is going to be good.
It is
His brother.
Zufkar Butt.
Squire Butt.
Yes. Quote,
How can that even held up in court?
I know. Quote, he is still in public custody, though all three offenses are bailable, said the Butt. Khan, who goes by the nickname Rocket,
Flush Rocket.
yes, had
Red
been.
Rocket of Love.
I'm telling you, I didn't make this stuff up. This is real.
You have to
Had,
admit
no,
that.
The love
no, I
missile.
didn't. Had bet his friends he could pull off the nude stunt. TV channels showed footage of a naked Khan doing a wheelie in the center of the city while scores of cheering friends followed on their bikes.
You know, if I had a friend doing that, I'd follow too. I'd be like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, somebody's got to shoot the video.
Somebody has to have that somewhere on
Yeah.
video. Oh my
Wow.
God.
That's great. And you know, I kept thinking I have a new level of respect for Pakistan right now.
I do too.
I kept thinking Pakistan, you know, everybody, you know, they're pulling their goats behind them, or you know, they're oxen
right,
or
and there's
something.
40 people on a bike.
Yeah.
and
But now we know
it's a war zone.
nobody's doing-
a naked man on a motorcycle can be arrested by
Well,
butt.
I was gonna say, isn't Pakistan like a Muslim country? Were they even arrested? Wouldn't they just like cut off his head or something?
You would think.
Yeah.
Maybe they should.
I
Which
don't know.
one?
Oh,
Oh, bada bing, bada bang, bada
Oh.
fuko.
Wow. Okay.
Uh,
All right. Well, that's all I had to say. So I think we're actually going to head out to a break at this point.
that's crazy.
And when we come back, no more stories about communicable, non-communicable diseases or naked riders. But we do have a lot of racing to talk about from this weekend. So we're going to do that right on the other side of the break. So don't go away. And don't forget, check out all our videos on youtube.com/user/NTN America.
And also, we wanted to throw out one more time, end of May is the end of streaming.
Here you go.
End of May, end of streaming.
And go to our PayPal account, throw some money in there to see Phil's head.
DawgHouse at ntnradio.com.
To see my hair, not my head.
Yeah,
I-
you know, if one
be
person
careful.
comes out and sends us $1,000, it's done for
we're not
everybody else.
no, we're all right. I was gonna say we're not saying anything. We gotta raise some money out of this.
Right. All right. We'll be back on the other side. Stick around, folks.
Hi, I'm Larry Pegram, and you're listening to the DawgHouse on ntnradio.com.
And we're back here on the DawgHouse. We're going to do a little racing news. There was some racing going on. It was the end, and that's the race after the penultimate race of Supercross. See, I did get to say it. I'm happy about that. That's the end.
But we're all unhappy about the way they handled Supercross.
Oh yes. Do we want to start with the rant?
Yes. Let's start with the rants. We're going to talk Supercross first anyway, right?
So Phil, tell me what did you think about the way they handled Supercross?
I love Super. I'm gonna come out and say this.
Race of the year.
Warren, that was really good. I like how you did that.
Yeah.
Nice segue, Warren.
Nice.
I love Supercross. I am not trying to badmouth Supercross. I would grow my hair out just for a chance to hug Diana Dahlgren. Not gonna even lie.
I don't get it.
That's a lie. That was completely a lie.
I don't get it. But okay.
And that cost $500. I mean, $5,000.
That woman has no curves whatsoever.
I would.
Okay.
I'm telling you,
I
28
like it.
more
It's
seconds.
like being with a man.
Works for me.
But I love Supercross.
We know about you.
And one of the coolest things about Supercross is they market it to kids. They put up pictures of kids sitting in their living room on their dirt bikes in full riding gear watching Supercross.
So I guess it was cool when Joe Camel was marketed to kids too.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
I have no problem with kids smoking.
Okay.
So I don't care. We don't want them to live too long. Then they become adults and vote, and then everything gets screwed up.
It screws up the whole social security system.
It does. But they market it to kids. And it's great. And the riders do things for kids. And they have the little kids ride around in between the races and have the little kid races, which I love watching when they show them. I love it.
Yeah, they don't show them very often.
Why the hell are you doing a 10 o'clock start on the East Coast? I can't even stay awake that late anymore.
Well, and not only that,
where the largest percentage of the American population is.
Right.
Well, here's the problem. The problem is that even out where they were in Las Vegas, they didn't start the race until 6:30 in the evening. What did they think was going to happen?
Right.
Why didn't that start at noon?
Ridiculous.
Why wasn't it at noon? It was a Saturday. It was a weekend. I think last year, it was at noon in Las Vegas.
Was.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. There's no reason that Supercross should be going on at midnight.
No.
That's too late.
Yeah, I didn't even stay up to watch the 450 final. I just turned it off and said I'll watch
I'll watch it on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, now, if you're trying to drive people to your YouTube channel, that's great. But there's no reason for that. There's no reason in the world for that to be on that late.
I have a feeling, it's just my personal feeling that this was probably driven by this. I think this was totally driven by ESPN. Or I'm sorry, Fox Sports.
Yeah.
Sorry, Fox Sports.
Because they did have one of the bigger baseball games of the week in front of it.
Yep. In the evening. And I think that's what they did. They pushed it back, and they probably told – I mean, it was scheduled. I went back and I looked at the prior to January 1st schedule for Supercross season, and they had it at 10 o'clock at night, even back then. It did show at 10 o'clock at night. So I have a feeling that Fox Sports knew at that time we're going to give you this window of time. So I'm going to say I don't blame Supercross. I'm going to say I blame Fox Sports.
Well, then Supercross should be yelling at him.
Well, Supercross probably is, but they probably like the fact that they. Well, it's cool that we have a producer now who's actually a cough button.
Oh, nice job.
Yeah, he's good. But my guess is that Supercross likes the money that they get.
Yeah, money's sweet.
Yeah, so
know
they probably aren't going to like yell at Fox Sports too much.
Yeah, but anyways, that pissed me off. But there was one thing really cool, and I don't know how much you guys watched and stuff like that. But in the early rounds,
I never watched so much heat racing in my life.
Okay, what was the coolest part? Right? What was the coolest part about the 250 heat race?
What?
What was the coolest part of the 250 heat race?
Which heat race?
Of all of them, what was the coolest part of all of them?
Of the 250, what was the coolest part of all of them? I don't know. You want to venture a guess, Warren?
Oh, not off the top of my head. They just normal heat races to me.
And this is why these guys hate women.
There were a couple good.
Vicky Golden actually qualified to make it into the heat race.
Yeah.
Congratulations, first woman ever to do that, and that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and
she did not do too well.
She did. She basically did a Melissa Paris.
Oh, you know what? This is her first time. Don't be that hateful.
Okay. Well, let's hope for better results.
Well, she raced two heats and the LCQ.
Yeah.
So she got a bunch of laps in. So.
Right.
She got a bunch of laps in, but it was just cool that she made it. You know, she's been trying all year.
Right.
You know, and now it's the end of the season, but it was awesome.
Well, here's the thing I'll say. I mean, I don't want to poo-poo on that, but I will say that watching her race, the one thing I noticed is she was ridiculously slow. Did you not notice that? As compared to the top half of the field?
Well, I got to admit, you know.
But there were other guys that are ridiculously slow, too.
In that 250
in the
final,
lower part,
and even in the 250 final, everyone was ridiculously slow after the top five. I thought that was one of the worst 250 finals of the season.
If you just watched some of the laps and where they actually were focusing on some people in there, it disappeared to me. And I maybe I haven't noticed because I haven't watched the heat races that much this year, and a lot of these guys never make it in to the main. But I was amazed watching the heat races just how really, really slow the lower part of the field is. To the point that I don't quite get the reason why they're there.
To give you 4 hours of racing.
Well, you could do it with less riders. You have the same number of laps. They don't make the race any longer.
Yeah, but if 50% of the guys from the heat race, the drama, only 4 move on. Only the top 9 move on.
Yeah, but I mean, that happens in every one of the heat races. You lose a certain percentage of the field. You could probably lop off a third.
You got to have a big field to be able to lose them.
Well, no, because they only let you. You don't get that in the first heat race. You move up 9 in the first heat race. Second one is only 4.
No,
and the LCQ it's 2, right?
In 250s, you only do the 2 heat races
and the LCQ. That's what I just said.
Right, so it's 9, 9, and 4.
I thought it was. You sure?
That makes 22. 9, 9, and 4.
I believe he's right.
9, 9, and 4 is 22 in addition to the people that made it into the main, right?
Those are the people that make it into the main.
Well, because the top people are automatically passed through. The top 9.
Right, 9, 9.
Each of the heats
9, 9,
and
4 in the LCQ.
Okay, all right. I thought it was less than heat race 2.
No, in the 450s, it's 4, 4, 5, 5, 4.
Okay.
Yeah, you can double check, or it might be 5. No, it's 4, 4, 5, 5, 4, because they run the heats and the semis.
Right, they run the heats and the semis.
But what was the worst thing about the 250 final?
Well, in Ken's view, the worst thing about the 250s at all was Malcolm Stewart won a heat race and came in second, because we all know Ken hates.
That's a good point. I do.
Right. So
that's what was one of the reasons he did that was that. So many of the top riders weren't there.
Yeah. Webb claims he had an injury.
No, he definitely.
Martin has an injury.
No, he definitely.
Bogle has a vagina.
Well, Webb definitely had an injury, but you know what? He wrecked and he was found unfit to ride. So.
Yeah. Alex Martin had an injury.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of people out.
Bogle.
It was amazingly
I'm saving myself for motocross.
Yeah.
Try winning a race in Supercross.
Right.
You ain't saving yourself. What are you saving yourself for? 4th place?
Yeah.
Don't give me that.
Yep.
I was a little bitter about that.
Both when Warren and me were watching it and we saw that we weren't going to have the Webb Musquin.
Showdown. What's the point of watching?
We both said that it's kind of like it was kind of pointless.
Anticlimactic.
They should have put Webb's jersey on somebody else and been like, well, look how much better Musquin is, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
And Bogle, why are you not there?
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
it is ridiculous.
You know, if I was a sponsor, I'd say refund my money. You weren't
Right.
there for the finals.
Mhm.
That's like, hey, we made the Super Bowl. Let's not go.
Yeah, right. Yep.
That's pretty much what it was.
So yeah, and then
What's the point? We made it. Hey, go team.
yeah, so the 450s.
Get your ass there.
So, I'm sorry.
It's not like you have a real job.
All right. Are you done ranting about the 250s?
Maybe.
Okay, we should mention in there that
We love Supercross.
Marvin Musquin won easily, and then started showboating the last lap, which kind of ticked me off.
Yeah, I don't
about
like
him.
the showboat.
Yeah. I mean, he spent the last lap just kind of like showboating and clicking his heels together when he didn't.
I was almost hoping he'd wipe out and Malcolm would win, and then he'd be the laughing stock of 250, at least on this show.
That's right. The shame would have lasted another season.
Right. We'd be big. No, he could win 20 Supercross 450 championships in a row, and I'd still be like, remember you lost to Malcolm Stewart?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I don't like the showboating either. I'm not a fan of that.
Right.
That's just kind of not what I like.
It's bad. I mean, especially when you're French, you shouldn't do that stuff.
Right.
I mean,
You've
seriously.
surrendered for less.
Seriously, the last time that's right. The last time the French had anything to celebrate was when they invented the baguette. That's it.
Baguettes are pretty good, though.
There they are. Little mustard, some
Oh,
roast
wow.
beef on them.
Wow.
Make a sub out of it.
Okay, let's talk about 450s.
Yeah, we should go right to 450s because they don't even have meat in France. You have to eat insects there or something. That's what I heard on the news today. That's why I like the radio.
Escargot.
Yeah, that's not meat. That's insects.
Yeah. So, and then there was the 450s.
And then there was the 450s, and the 450s
is
Escargot.
why am I staying up to midnight to
Right.
watch a race when I already know the top 5?
right. Exactly.
Might not know the exact
The
order.
only-
And they were racing for nothing. No, I could have pretty much guessed the top 5.
Actually, I tell you, there was only one thing in the 450s that I thought that I was enjoyed was
Diana Dahlgren holding the 30
because
seconds
she has
line,
no,
and that's it.
Diana Dahlgren has no curves. The fact that Eli Tomac wrecked his bike, still managed to pull out a second, and he wrecked himself.
Yeah, he
You
did
know,
wreck himself.
he
one
did pretty
thing
damn good.
And one thing I
thought.
liked about was Weston
Diana
Pike.
Dahlgren?
Well,
Weston
she's in
Pike.
there.
Yeah,
He
Weston,
actually finished strong.
he did. He actually did finish strong. Weston Pike. I think that was a good way to end his season. I think
Yes,
that was a positive way.
I think so too.
He did really well, so I was happy with that. And of course, Dungey just sort of strolled to the win. But
Well,
but Tomac gave him fits early on.
Yeah, the first
Yes, he
couple of
did.
laps, he showed
Yeah.
him the wheel.
Yeah.
And then,
We were looking for Tomac to make a breakout, and I think towards the end of the season, he started.
Right.
Last year he didn't have a great season. He started off kind of inconsistent this year, and I think he actually came on it where I think next year maybe we will see him challenge
Yeah.
for a title.
we-
You're
we-
going to get
we
some
got-
guys back from injury.
Right, exactly.
We'll have
Yeah, that's
Kennard
the
for a
big
few
thing.
weeks before he gets injured.
That's right.
Well, you gotta-
and Pike's getting stronger.
yeah. And Roxon finally fell out of the top 10 this week.
Right.
Yeah.
It finally fell out of the top 10 after having not raced for the last 5 months.
And, Barsha's probably going to get more out of shape, so he'll be out of it.
Yeah, I
But,
don't know.
Blake Baggett, I think, has done well.
Right.
Brayton hasn't done bad. There's a couple, and you
Seeley's
got
done
a
pretty
couple
well.
guys coming up. If McElroth goes in there, I'm going to say this. He ain't much of a name right now, but if McElroth rides 450 next year, I would expect him to be top 5.
Perhaps. What I think, though, is you're not going to see – I don't think the top 5 we have this year, they're not going anywhere. They're all going to have rides for next season. And you're going to get back – and you're going to get back you're going to get back Kennard. You're going to get back Roxon.
And Stewart.
And you're going to have Muskin, and you're going to have Stewart.
Stewart, I don't – okay, Stewart is –
Maybe.
What? Well, who's Stewart?
Yeah.
Who was Stewart?
Can you believe we went an entire season with barely mentioning him?
Yeah, that's right.
We talked about his brother more.
Well,
Yeah.
I did read today that his suspension was not – his appeal to his suspension was not approved,
Okay.
and he's suspended until the 11th of August.
11th of August. Okay, so
That's halfway through
the motocross
motocross.
season,
So
which he's not much of a
he's not. Yeah.
that's
Motocross
Chad
ain't
Reed's
his thing.
domain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Which
motocross
I will
starts
actually
in what,
say,
2
I will
weeks?
make a comment. Chad Reed actually had a better indoor season
Than I was expecting.
Right. So
And we
and so
got
they were they off for 6 weeks, something like that.
no. It's only like 2 or 3.
Oh, I thought it was longer than that.
No, it's like 2.
In May, they race in May. No.
They were first week in June. Hold on, Durka, check.
Turco,
Well,
check.
while he's checking, the Supercross also issued their
You're about to go.
calendar for
Yes,
next year.
Mazda.
Yes, Mazda. Yes, Mazda.
They've added 3 new venues to the racing next year. They're going to go to
Anaheim 2 more times.
And Atlanta for the third race.
they're going to go to the University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona.
Twice, because don't they already go there?
No, they did. This is new for them, and they're also going to go to Toronto to the Rogers Center.
Great. We can't get a race around here, but they got to go to Canada.
And Gillette Stadium
Yeah.
in Massachusetts, the home of the Patriots.
Great. Wonderful.
Yay, they'll
So
race
they've
in the
added-
snow.
Great.
Quite-
Oh, we get an
well,
outdoor
it's in,
race. Yes, producer,
It's
speak
April
up.
23rd. So
May 24th.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, woo.
Oh, I
Where
didn't
they-
think they
Glen
raced
Allen
in-
or Hangtown? Glen Allen.
I didn't
Right?
think they raced in Virginia. I mean, in May. They don't race in Virginia. But
And I just found out we're going to Foxborough so we can watch all the top guys lose.
Right.
Anyways,
well, they might have deflated.
they'll have deflated tires
Yeah.
there and all kinds of stuff like that. But yeah, so Motocross starts up. I'm looking forward to that. After we do the show tonight, we are going to record our Supercross final power ranking. So check that out on YouTube or YouTube on our YouTube
Does anybody
channel
know where the motocross is being broadcast this year?
on television.
You sure of that?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I
All
will find that out for next week.
Okay.
I really haven't looked. I haven't thought that far ahead. That's 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
And speaking of 2 weeks from now, that's
We're going away.
VR.
We're going away.
Moto America.
Do we have a place to stay yet?
Not yet. I forgot.
Okay.
That's next week.
16th?
Oh crap! That isn't. No.
16th and 17th.
10 days.
Yeah, that's 10 days. I will work on that tomorrow. Or one of our racer friends will find people sleeping in their hauler.
Okay.
And then that morning. But yeah, we'll find a place. I'm not worried about it. It's Danville, Virginia. They're going. We go just walk into one of the abandoned
That's right.
houses.
Also known as an AIDS clinic.
Also the AIDS capital of Virginia.
Yeah.
So we will be there. We got some MotoGP happen this past week.
We did.
I'm not even sure where to begin in the MotoGP.
I'll tell
Because
you what. Let's start with Moto 2.
Yeah, that'd be
can,
bad.
can we?
That's where we'll
Can,
start.
did you watch Moto 3?
I did not watch
No.
Moto 3.
Damn it! Because I was going to butcher a name.
Go right ahead.
Hold on, I gotta look at it because it's like Quatermeyer or something like Quatermaro or something like that.
Quaterone.
Quaterone.
Yeah, Quaterone.
He
Quasimodo.
during the race, he had the tank slapper, saved, kept himself on the bike. One of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Gotta go back and watch that race if you got the package. If you don't have the package,
And didn't he win the pole for the race too?
I believe so.
I think he
don't-
did.
Somebody who we've never talked about. We might never ever again talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But that dude had a tank. Yeah, he was a Quateraro. Is I think how it said. He had a tank slapper and a half. I think
Okay.
that was actually right. Quateraro.
Quateraro.
Is
It's
that near
Court.
Denver? Is that where the capital is
It's-
Denver?
Yeah, it's Court. Araro. Quateraro.
Quateraro.
Yeah.
You've
All
been,
right.
you've been smoking too much of that
Yeah.
stuff.
I guess.
Where do
but
you
that's
live?
right.
Denver,
It's
Colorado.
Quateraro. It's Quateraro.
If I put my teeth in it, it'd probably sound different. But anyways, the Moto3 race actually didn't end up with Danny Kent taking off and
Which
beating
is
everybody.
there's your shocker of the weekend.
Yeah, I mean the top 4 guys were within a second.
Well,
So-
it's Moto 3.
Yeah, so that was pretty
And
good.
they should be. A second is a lifetime in Moto 3.
Yeah. So it was only a
That's like a
tenth
lap
of
and
a
a half.
second between him and Danny Kent and Oliveira.
Right.
So anyways, that's it. Moto 2.
Moto 2. I tell you what, very amazingly frustrating race for me. But I imagine probably who did you pick for that
I
race?
picked this guy.
Oh, I know you picked Lowe's.
I picked
I
Lowe's.
had Lowe's too.
Did you really?
Yeah.
And Lowe's,
Yeah.
Lowe's has about 4
You
more
know,
laps
he didn't
to
actually.
do.
He didn't actually start the race. You do realize that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He
didn't
was
actually,
supposed to.
Yeah, he didn't though.
And not only that, in about an hour and a half or so, he'll probably finish up the last 2 laps that he has to do there.
Well, what I heard, and I have no idea if this is true or not, was that he had set his launch control to wet. And when the race started, he just didn't. He couldn't get it back to dry.
Yeah, that didn't explain why he spent most of the time at the bottom. He would have come back a lot.
Well, he
think there's
probably had
more
his
to it
rain
than that.
tires on. but where he finished the thing, if he set his bike to wet, I'm gonna guess he had his rain tires on.
Okay,
because
I'll tell you what I heard. I heard they had some serious grip problems right from the start.
Yeah, well, then that's rain tires.
Yeah, if you had
Well, if you had rain tires, that's true.
if you had set the computer to be for wet conditions, you might just get that.
Well, that's different from the start, right? You're saying they actually had the computer set up for.
From what I read was.
Why didn't he go into the pits and get it straight out right away when he had a chance?
Because it took him 2.5 hours to make a lap to get back to the entrance of pit road.
Right.
He's falling through the thing. I'm going, oh my God, he must have crashed.
Right, that's what I thought.
And they
originally.
show pictures of him and he's riding, and I'm like, was that from last week?
It was like he was out for like a Sunday ride. He wasn't really pressing very hard.
Yeah,
so.
he was like going around waving to people. I was like, Sam, you gotta kick that thing in
something was
ass.
going on, and
Yeah, something was very, very wrong. That's just I was surprised that I had heard initially that he had some sort of mechanical problem, and I said, why the hell isn't he going into the pits? And he wasn't.
Yeah.
So whatever problem he had, I don't think it was something they could fix. But he has a. I mean, do they have backup bikes in Moto2 like they do in MotoGP?
I don't know.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do.
Yeah. So
well, obviously not.
that's a killer for him. I mean, that is a killer for him to come away with no points.
A kill for him? What about me?
Well,
I don't care about him. That screwed my pool. I was all set to take the lead in the pool.
Hey, I also took Dovey as well, so my
We'll
weekend
talk
was
about that in a
big
few
time.
minutes.
right.
We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But damn it, what about me? And then kickstart Rabat.
I don't feel.
Well, yeah, kickstart Rabat. Yeah,
You
that could
realize
be a song.
I don't feel it at all bad for you, Phil, after what happened in the last lap for me.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's probably
my
true.
guy might as well have been back there riding with Lowe's.
Yeah, that's true. Because
But you know something, I can't.
he actually only finished 2 spots above Lowe's.
I know he got no points. That's all that mattered to me.
Well, but I got to give the winner some credit because I know Ken badmouthed him real bad after the last race.
And he still deserves it. He didn't do anything to prove to me he deserved
Yeah,
it.
Ken gave him a down the road big time, but
No,
he
what
won
I
this
said to him,
race.
he didn't. He didn't do anything to earn it. Well, yeah, it kind of helped.
Yeah.
It kind of helps when most of the competition. Zarco gets a bad start. Lowe's basically goes to another town. Right?
Lowe's forgets to start.
He forgets to start.
Rins is just like, hey, I can win this race, or
I can ride through this gravel pit.
All right.
or I can detour and go off the road.
I can wreck myself.
Yeah.
I can wreck myself.
In the last
He
lap.
is an enduro rider in the off season.
Yeah, doesn't help. Didn't help him.
Zarco and Chico, they just didn't really do all that good.
Well, no,
Or,
Zarco.
I'm sorry, Kickstart.
Zarco
and Kickstart.
Zarco got a bad start. Rabat actually did pretty well
For Rabat this year.
But did pretty good. He had a pretty good start for him, and I thought, but Zarco had a bad start. But you do realize that what I got out of that race was Zarco's the top rider out there right now. I don't think there's any question about it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question about it.
I don't know if I could disagree with that.
Yep.
And Folger is going to be streaky. I just have that feeling.
Yeah,
He's going to be streaky.
that's it. You know, I mean, he's good for a can of coffee. That's about it. You know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Guys won 2 races and winning.
No
is winning.
respect. 2 races and no
winning is
respect on the
winning.
DawgHouse.
Everyone- if you're
I'll
not
tell you
first
what.
He's won half the races so
I'll-
far this season, and he gets no respect on this show.
I'll give him this credit. Okay, this race.
He's good to the last drop.
This right.
Gasoline.
No, that's
Whoa,
Maxwell
hey,
House.
whoa!
To
I don't know.
gasoline.
I'm not sure Ken should know about that.
Yeah. I don't think. I don't think. I give him credit for earning this win, but I don't think Folger can beat the top guys unless they screw up, which they did this
Right.
weekend. It worked for
What
him.
Folger has working for him is he seems to be in the right place at the right time when
Yes.
everybody else is screwing up.
Yeah.
He seems to be in the top 5 or 6, and then when things blow up in front of him, he can take advantage of it.
Well, no, this
And he's going
Yeah,
slow
yeah,
enough
but-
that he can
but
avoid everything.
that's not what happened this weekend. That's
No,
not,
it's not. He went out there and earned
he
it.
had the pole to begin with, okay, and then he.
No, I thought Chico had the pole.
I think Folger did.
I thought Folger.
No.
had the pole.
Folger was third.
Okay, he was he had a front row start.
He had a front row start, but he was third.
Okay.
It was kickstart Rabat,
Mm-hmm.
Alex Rins and Folger on the front row with Luthi Nakagami, which that's just wasting a spot on the second row. Oh, let's give a spot to Nakagami.
Nakagami was at least polite enough to give it right up and roll all the way to the back of the pack.
Yeah, and the bad thing is he's like said to his buddy next to him, Sam Lowe's, he's like, you should see the view of the racing out back. Let's go.
Yeah.
And Sam Lowe's was like, okay, that sounds like a good idea to me.
So yeah, I'm not going to give Folger any respect yet because I just don't think.
Because you can't earn respect on the DawgHouse. You have to buy it.
You have to buy it. That's right. You're dead on, Phil. You're dead on.
Ken's like, if I don't get points in the pool or some kind of cash supplement,
That's
I
right.
don't care.
There you go.
And that's pretty much the
So,
way I feel.
and be honest with you, I mean, Rins Rins got over aggressive. I can't fault him for doing that. I like the fact that he did that. He kept pushing the final lap, and he wrecked himself in the final lap. And the worst thing that happened to Rins wasn't the wreck. It was the fact that he gave that position up to Zarco. That's the worst thing that happened to him.
That's pretty much the worst that happened.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it was, because that's the guy he's battling for the championship with right now.
So, I think what I learned out of this race is when it comes to Moto2,
don't pick lows.
No, because I've gotten points on when it comes to Moto2, nobody's a safe bet.
No, that's true.
That's true.
Nobody's a safe bet right now. There's nobody who I'm going to sit there and say, man, that's the guy I think's going to win.
Well, here's a safe bet. I'll actually give you a safe bet for Moto2. Don't pick Nakagami.
Yeah,
okay.
Baldessari, Alex Marquez, obviously all the speed.
Alex, hasn't he been a disappointment, Alex Marquez?
He finished 10th this week.
Yeah, somewhere's down there. And, Agurta's having a horrible time.
I know.
And Krumaka, or however you say his name, I just like
Randy Krumaka?
I just think that's a cool name.
Yeah.
He's not doing so hot. But, Zarco got the points lead. Folger
moved up. He's now number 2.
Folger's in second. He's got 2 wins, which is 25 points, and a whopping 7 points in the other 2 races, which is kind of like Warren's weekend.
Right. Yes.
But we'll get into that in a few minutes.
But Rins decided he wasn't going to score any points, and Lowe's decided he wasn't going to score any points, and that helps Folger, right?
Yeah, yes. And that helps Folger. That helps Zarco.
That ain't going to continue.
Morbidelli.
That ain't going to continue.
I hope not.
And it's not going to continue.
And Esteve Rabat or Kickstart Rabat, whatever you want to call him now.
Yeah,
I think we'll just
I don't know
what
the hell the issue is with him. He seems like he's this week.
He's 40 points back, 4 races in.
Wow.
Yeah.
TPO, the party's over.
And he had his best weekend this weekend too.
Yeah,
and that's the best.
And the party's over.
Right.
The party is over for that guy. Then we go to another altered reality that we'll call MotoGP.
I don't think it's an altered reality. I think it's the real reality. We're going to have to accept it now. It's different than what we thought. That Marc Marquez, we can't think of him as being that dominating person anymore. This injury definitely is making he can't break the way he normally.
No.
I mean that was clear. He was giving up. I figured Phil was probably doing backflips with Rossi coming up on him.
I was, but I'm fat, so my backflips don't always work the way I want them to. And I ended up on the couch with a bruised uterus and all that kind of stuff.
Back flops.
Wow. Phil's got a uterus. He just said that.
But more importantly...
Hey, can you isolate that for future reference?
Yes.
The quitter
yes.
looked like he needs a job for next year.
Yeah, but I think the quitter, what he had going for him this week was an injured Marquez and Rossi, who had a bad week. Rossi had a bad week.
Just a bad week.
Terrible, horrible in practice. They were not getting the traction on the bike right until qualifying, and even then he wasn't happy with it.
Right. And I don't think he was happy during the race. Yeah. I think he was happy to get third.
Yeah, this is Jorge Lorenzo. I'm in front of my hometown crowd. I don't want to look like the total ass I have been the rest of the season. So I'm actually going to give it that's the only reason he didn't quit, in my opinion, is that he was in front of the hometown crowd.
Yeah.
So I don't.
His mama was like, "Don't you quit in front of me."
And this is his best track too.
Yeah, and please don't think that this is it means anything for the
Unless
future.
you're in the pool, then you really should jump on the Jorge Lorenzo bandwagon.
Yeah, I think
agree with
if
that.
you want to get on a bandwagon right now, I think you got to get on the Rossi bandwagon. I really do.
I never thought I would hear Ken say that.
I know, but you have to.
All the time we've been doing this show, Kenzo's been Rossi should retire.
He should. He's done.
Spend time with his grandkids.
He's done.
And he's got life in him.
Yeah, but you know what? I think his life. Yeah, but I think his life is because of Marquez.
Yeah,
I really do believe that.
I think Rossi wants to.
Marquez is inspired him.
He wants to beat Marquez.
Right, and win a championship.
And win a championship. And I think if he does, he retires.
I think so too.
I think you're right.
Yep. I think Yamaha wants him to do that.
And apparently they don't want Jorge Lorenzo to.
No, nobody wants Jorge Lorenzo to win.
It looks to me like Yamaha is definitely
looking down the road already.
Yeah, I think they've already decided. Well, no, they've already signed. Lorenzo's going to race with them next year. They've already announced that.
Yeah, but it was only a 1-year deal.
Well, it's still a deal, right?
Which says to me they didn't want to replace both riders if Rossi wins.
Hey, now so I'm gonna. Were you planning to talk about that thing I sent you that about Honda and Casey Stoner?
Yes, I was going to wait till after we were done talking about
Okay,
the race,
well,
but we can talk about it now.
No, I know. I didn't know.
So
I want to
wanna
make sure
mention-
you brought it up.
I want to mention
We don't talk about it
Crutchlow.
now.
He did pretty well. Yeah, it's
We
2
could
weeks in a row.
When we get done talking about the racing, we can do that. But we do need to kind of wrap things up because it's 7:25 right now, somewhere in the world.
And you have someplace you need to go?
Yes, I have power rankings to do.
Oh, you got power rankings. I'm sorry. I didn't know the world revolved around Ken's schedule.
It does.
And that you wanted to half-ass the show.
It does.
So if you're pretty pissed off that the show is a half hour short, send your hate mail to Ken at ntnradio.com.
It's not going to be a half hour short.
And if Ken gets 50,000 unique emails
Unique emails.
of hate mail about cutting this short, and each one of them has $1 attached to it,
I'm gonna tell you something. This show is right now the length of last week's show. Right now.
right now. All
Right now.
Chris, we're not going to talk about what Ken wants to talk about. Let's get out of here.
We're quitting.
We're quitting. You heard it from Durka. He said we're quitting. No. So anyways, hip hip Jorge, he won.
He did.
He won. Marquez came in second. Rossi was gaining on him until he ran out of tires, then fell back. Crutchlow
Fourth 2 weeks in a row, and he
Yeah.
looked good in both races.
and Warren's
I just don't
beginning to develop a man crush on Crutchlow, but that's okay. Points lead, Rossi did extend Dovey. Disappointment. We did
Oh,
not
my
talk about
God.
this for Warren,
Yes, right.
who
But-
scored a whopping 7 points this week.
Yeah, it's called hanging on to what's left of their open class benefits.
Yeah, both of them, both the Ducatis look pretty
No,
bad.
no. Crazy Joe did okay.
Yeah,
I
Crazy
know
Joe
he did
all right.
pretty good. What did he finish? Fifth?
Yeah, I believe
But he
so.
had some issues during the race.
Not the ones that Dovey had.
No.
Dovey's issues are
He can't-
I'm
didn't
going
stay on
back
the
to
track.
I want to go back and see what Sam Lowe's was telling me about. You know?
I want
Sam
you to-
Lowe's did this great viewing in the back.
Right.
He said that this gravel pit had a real good view of the lake.
He was like, I'm not sure what this is.
Dovey was having some serious issues.
Dovey was riding around like, wow, I don't think I've ever been to Spain before.
Around.
But he did. Yeah, I mean, he did come. He did. He was. He fell away to the back, and he did.
Actually, what happened is he ended up on a scrambler instead of his
You're,
normal
you're
Ducati.
actually quite. You owe Dovey a lot because he did actually get back into the points.
He did.
You
Yes.
would have been in
He
deep
did
trouble.
haul some rear end there towards the end of the
Right.
race. And
I think he
went
managed
from dead last and finished 7th or 8th.
Ninth.
Ninth,
Finished
yeah.
ninth.
in the points. That's all that matters.
All that matters is he's in the points.
I would be
It
How
happy-
many points I got?
It
Yes.
saved you from the big zippy point zippy.
Yeah.
In the pool, Olaf took the lead because Hawkeye and Kristen didn't get their picks in time. Ooh, you can't win it if you ain't in it.
Right. But make sure you have default picks if
Put
you're
your
not.
default picks in. This is why we do those, so that if you can't make it to your computer in time, you can still score some points. And they would have had some decent points, and they would have maintained their lead. Me, who was all posed to go into the lead, picked Sam Lowe's, and Sam Lowe's was like, F you, Phil.
Yep.
Yeah, I was tweeting, go Sam Lowe's.
Had I known you picked him, I would have went with anybody else.
Yeah, I didn't. And Ken saved Martin because they had the same picks, and then Ken just switched to Renz.
Right.
So Martin did that. But in our pool, first to last is 87 points. And
That's
Ken,
great.
you are still last.
I'm sure I am. That's because.
But you're gaining.
Wait a minute. No, I'm not last. You remove the person that would actually be in last place because she's not picking anyone.
Right. Because
And you know what? In my opinion, she should be considered last.
Okay.
I disagree with
Ken's
that.
still last.
I didn't ask your opinion.
I concur with Phil's
But
statement.
Warren, I
don't
will
care.
say this. If you keep having weekends like this, Ken will catch you.
Yeah, I'm not
No,
far behind
I'm not
you.
going to have any more. I am off the Dovey train.
Okay. Off the Dovey train.
Wow. It means Dovey wins the next stop.
Dovey wins next stop. We are all in on that.
Yep.
So the pool is Olaf, Matt B, Hawkeye, Kristen, Phil, and me. Phil being me, they're top 5, and then it's really tight in there, man. We got places where there's a couple people separated by 1 point, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So it's
It's
pretty
early.
tight. It's
We're only
fun.
4 races in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and next week everybody's going to be World Superbikes racing in Imola, and we know everybody's going to jump the Johnny Rea train or the Chaz Davies train
This weekend.
I'm sorry, this weekend. You're right.
Right.
Well,
But
how can you not? Those are the only guys that are really showing anything.
Haslam.
Haslam,
Not really.
What do you mean, not really?
no
one should pick a Haslam.
I have it on good authority that Alex Lowe's is going to win World Superbike this week.
Yeah, pick. Yeah.
Pick Alex
That's
Lowe's.
right. Go for it, Warren.
He's going to make all the points his brother missed.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Ken sent me an article. And I read it, and I said, shtick. It was just an article to get people excited about Honda, who's not doing too well.
Wait a minute. Honda's doing exactly what Honda chose to do when they hired Aoyama to be their replacement for Danny
But they
Pedrosa.
thought when they did that Marquez was going to be winning all the races.
What they did was they thought this would be a good way to get people to look forward to Danny Pedrosa coming back.
That is true. I would not be looking forward to Pedrosa coming back.
And it worked.
If Ayama wasn't on the bike.
Right.
But they floated around, and the guy from Honda was asked about Casey Stoner coming back. And he kind of left it open-ended.
Well, he didn't. No, he actually said something that I thought the biggest news in that whole story was the fact that if we want Casey Stoner next year, we can have him.
I didn't take it as that.
He said that. Those are exact words.
Yeah, but I think that was shtick.
What? Okay, the head of Honda HRC does not do shtick. He said next year if we want...
I will tweet Casey Stoner's wife and find out, because the head of HRC Honda doesn't outrule her.
That tells me that they'd already gotten her permission. Or they wouldn't have made that comment, because that would have started a war.
Maybe it did. Maybe he was hoping he'd be divorced by next year.
Yeah, maybe.
That's how I would roll. I'd be like, Casey Stoner, if his wife was holding up and I was HRC, I'd be like, Casey Stoner's coming back. We're plotting to announce that. He'd be divorced. We'd get him back because he'd need the money.
Warren, if you want your wife to agree to let you do something that she said she doesn't want you to do anymore, what would you do?
I just do it. I just do it. I love you, baby.
So in other words, Warren just lied to all the listeners.
You did. Just for
I
her
just go
benefit.
out and do what I want. I love
He's
you,
like,
baby.
I'm a man.
I love
Whenever
you,
she
baby.
lets me.
Okay. You know you're useless, Warren. Okay.
Not everybody.
You're totally useless. Absolutely.
Not everybody has 12 wives. Good.
Apparently. Well, do you ever like if your wife's firmly against you doing something? Do you ever like just kind of just are down? You know, just kind of let her know that you're unhappy.
I have.
Well, we're talking about.
Does she care?
We're talking about
No.
We're talking about Casey the whiner Stoner. Okay, I imagine that he probably has been walking around kicking cans, yelling at the dog, moping around and stuff like that because he's racing at Suzuka this summer, which she said no more motorcycle racing. That was the thing. No more.
She
motorcycle
said no more
racing.
traveling.
No, she said no more motorcycle racing. That's what it was. No more motorcycle racing. I think that he's softened her up. I really do. Now, does that mean I think Casey Stoner's back next year? No, I do not think Casey Stoner's going to be back next year.
He probably just pulled out the checkbook.
But
and said,
what
Honey,
the point of the article was, if Danny Pedrosa can't come back, if this surgery doesn't work, he made it clear, and I don't think it was shtick at all. I don't believe the head of HRC makes shtick. He basically said they could have Casey Stoner if they wanted him. I don't think he would say that. Number one, that's just going to piss off Stoner if they hadn't had those discussions.
Stoner's happy as a pig in S because nobody's talked about him in months.
I think he wants to be talked about. That's
right.
I mean,
that's
those
what
guys
I'm saying.
are used to
He
that.
doesn't care. He doesn't have to come back. Because why would you go to Stoner when you could bring up somebody young, like Alex Marquez, and keep him back there with Ayama?
Yeah, right. That's right. Exactly. Yeah. Why would you bring back a guy who's proven?
I look at Moto2 and I go, I don't see any of these guys.
Dude, let me think about. Let me put this out there for right now. No matter what you think about Casey Stoner and what a whiner is and that kind of stuff like that.
I never hated Casey Stoner. That was you and the other.
I know. I always liked Casey Stoner. That was somebody
the other
else.
Guy. It was the other guy.
I always liked Casey Stoner. And some people in the pool have really been down on Casey Stoner. The comments about whining and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is, can you imagine how good it would be for HRC to have Marquez and Stoner racing each other?
Or it would be a nightmare like the first round of Yamaha with Lorenzo and Rossi.
I think, remember...
Because now you have two-time champions arguing over who gets the number one bike.
I think that's great. I think
who gets the number one bike.
Who cares?
Huh? They do.
Who cares?
Me and you don't care. HRC might not care, but they do.
They
okay,
will.
you know what
they will.
You want to know what you do? Here you go. Casey, you got the number one bike. Mark, don't worry. You got the number one bike.
Yeah, and that doesn't work. X hip hip hooray, and the doctor, how well that works. It doesn't work. Somebody gets shafted. Neither of them want to get shafted.
He just got another year on his contract, which I don't quite understand why in God's name they'd want to have
because they looked at Moto2 and said there's nobody to move up.
Yeah.
Really?
Who would you move up out of Moto2 right now?
I don't know. Maybe like Tito Rabat.
I wouldn't. If he didn't, he won the championship and nobody said, "Hey, Chico."
No, that's
come
not true.
us.
He was offered rides on a number of teams. He wanted a factory ride. He wanted to be.
Yeah, and you know what? And I'd say,
ride.
you know what? You should have came and raced and showed me a little something.
Yeah, but he's not the first guy to do that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he gets her. I don't think you move him up, especially after the season he's having now. He ain't gonna get offered.
He had a better chance.
I think
he had a better chance last year.
I think he will.
Hey, move me up. I'm a champion that couldn't score more than 7th in points.
I think Rins is another one that. Look, I think Renz is looking pretty good. He might not be
No,
winning,
no,
but he
no,
is.
no. This
doing-
Renz
doing
just got
well.
moved up. Renz
Rich just got moved up. He ain't ready.
He ain't ready. I honestly believe you're right. You might be right about Rabatz. If he's waiting and only going to come up for a factory ride, and that doesn't happen, then he's not going anywhere. But I mean,
He ain't going to offer the factory ride coming in 5th in points.
well, we'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
You heard it here
still
first.
got
we're
a- we still
four
got a
spot.
whole
We're only
season.
four. races
Yeah,
in.
we got a
All
lot
right,
of
let's
season.
get out of here.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
We're going to go.
We're gonna go. That's
gonna
You
go.
people need to. You
cue
people.
to the producer. Take us out of here.
Well, no. Before you take us out of here, you best subscribe to the channel. Watch us on YouTube.
You
Watch
bet.
our other
YouTube,
videos.
yeah. America.
What's the channel? Let's ask Warren.
NTN America.
That's all. What's the
You go to
URL?
YouTube, search NTN America. You will come to our website.
Why can't you just say youtube.com/user
'Cause no one hears that.
/NTN America? Yeah, they
Nobody
do.
does that.
Okay.
He's actually right on that. Nobody.
Nobody does that?
They go to the search bar and put in the search.
Okay, our producer does. He's smart enough to do that. You
No,
don't
he doesn't do that.
I'm agreeing with them.
If I
He actually.
if I give you the URL
he
to a
actually-
channel, you don't use it.
No, I don't.
If I can click the damn link, I'll use it, but I can't click a link over the air.
You heard it here first on the DawgHouse. So go watch our YouTube videos. You can actually see Ken twerking earlier in this show. You'll see that I actually
for free. Next time I charge
for free. Next time he charges.
$1,000.
I think you're all chicken to send money for my hair, so screw you. I don't think you got the balls to do it. Is that good?
That'll
Is that
work.
good goading?
That'll work.
You don't have the balls to do it. And let's get out of here.
Now that bombshell, we're out.